What is this anxiety? I'm going to use an analogy today, and I'll keep it that simple and hopefully I'll keep it short. So I'd like you to imagine that you're watching the news on the television, and the ticker tape with all the breaking news stories and the latest news is going across the bottom of the screen. And I suppose our mind is like that. We have a ticker tape running through our mind constantly, all day, every day. And there's thoughts on that ticker tape. And it's when we jump on those thoughts, particularly the ones that we don't like and the ones that scare us and that make us feel uncomfortable, that we feel anxiety. Now, we're born into a world of thought. Our ticker tape is moving, but it's blank when we're born. And as soon as we're born, people start writing onto this ticker tape. You know, our parents, our caregivers, our pals, our siblings, our grandparents, our teachers. You know, we learn from what's going on in the world around us, from society, from what the culture we grow up in, and all of that. And one of the things that we learn very early is that what's going on around us on the outside that we're looking out at determines how we feel on the inside. And that's a huge innocent misunderstanding, because what's going on out there has nothing to do with what's going on in here. It doesn't determine how we feel, and it doesn't have the impact that we think it automatically has. Now, this is all very innocent. I mean, our parents learned this at a very young age, so they passed on the learning to us. Our grandparents learned it. Everybody around us learned it. But it's actually an inside-out job. And I'll talk about that in a bit more detail on other tapes. So this is embedded into us very early. And as we're growing up, I suppose, this blank ticker tape, the thoughts just start getting written on it. Now, all those thoughts are neutral until we jump on them and start putting meaning on them. So the way you could think about this is all the people around you are all writing on your ticker tape. But if you look at the ticker tape, it's the same font. The font is the same size, it's the same colour, nothing is bolded, nothing's in italics, nothing's underlined. The same way as you look at the ticker tape on the news, it's all written in the same font and it's just passing through. So, you know, you wake up in the morning and it kicks in and it starts. Oh, it's time to get up. Will I have a shower? Will I have tea or coffee this morning? I wonder what the kids will be doing in school today. Oh God, I have that awful meeting. And then we get stuck. We focus in on the awful meeting. And I suppose the value of this understanding is that when we see that there's thoughts going around all day, every day, I think the experts say we have 60 to 80,000 of them every single day going around on our ticker tape. And a lot of the same ones every day. There's not a whole lot of fresh ones. But when we see that this is ticker tape and that the thoughts on it are neutral, that they're not personal, that they don't mean anything about us unless we put meaning on them. You know, it's our interpretation of what's on the ticker tape that creates the feeling. And tomorrow we'll take a deeper exploration into the nature of thinking and feeling and where our thoughts and feelings come from. But when you realize that everything that's on your ticker tape is just words and thoughts and it's neutral, then you don't have to be so afraid of your own thinking anymore. And, you know, so there's two things going on there, regardless of where we are in our life. Whatever is going on in the world around us, there's stuff being written onto our ticker tape, whether we're 2, 22 or 92. And at the same time, we have this constant stream of thoughts running through our awareness, our mind, over and over and over. And when we see that those two things are going on, and we see that they're not personal to us, it's just the nature of thought, that's how thought is designed, that's the default of thought, then we don't jump on, or we're not as inclined, it's not so compelling to jump on the ones that we don't like and the ones that we think scare us. And when we get a bit of space between the thoughts and ourselves, there's freedom in that. You know, they go together. the writing on it and the fact that it's running all the time. But what I didn't know before I came across this understanding was I didn't know that that was the nature of how thought works. I didn't know that everything on it was neutral. And I didn't know that I didn't have to take instruction for my thinking, that it wasn't truth, that it wasn't real, that the things that I was feeling were as a result of my own interpretation and the meaning I was putting on. Because, like, the nature of thought is to move, it's transient, it's neutral, it's transient, and it's impersonal. When we jump on something like that, then we focus in on the anxious thinking, and then we start layering more and more thoughts upon it. And we create a tangle in the ticker tape. And when there's a tangle in the ticker tape, it's like a log jam, and the thoughts can't flow the way they're designed to flow. So when we see that they're neutral, you know, you're sitting there going, my tea is going cold. Oh, I got a message on my phone. Oh God, there's that person that really freaks me out. If we know and realize that that's just thought passing through our awareness and we don't jump on it, then because thought is designed to continuously move and be in motion, a new thought comes along all by itself, and along with it comes a new experience. Because the thoughts that are going through our ticker tape and the meaning that we put on those thoughts as they travel through is what's creating our experience. So if we don't jump on, the thoughts keep moving and a new experience is created all on its own. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. It's not important what's on the ticker tape. The content is really not what's important. And that's where we get lost. What is important is that there is a ticker tape. The fact that there's a ticker tape inside. And the fact that it's a natural thing. And the fact that it's neutral, it's transient, and it's not personal. There's an old Shakespeare quote, something around everything is neutral until, or something along the lines of that. I can't remember it now. I had it in my head earlier, but it's gone. So it's just realizing that the ticker tape is running all the time. And realizing that when we don't jump on and we don't create the tangles, the thoughts keep moving, fresh thoughts come through, and we feel better. So before I knew this, I was very seduced by my own thinking. And I was very compelled by my own thinking. It looked real. And if it looks real, then you have no choice. And if it looks scary, you're going to feel scary. You have no choice. Because our feelings are a reflection of our thoughts.